Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some interesting topics to go into today and something ahead of our next game. So let's jump straight into the video. I did want to say, however, though, that we are currently at 499 subscribers. So whoever wants to be the 500 subscriber, knock yourself out. Insane. We are halfway to 1,000. You guys have been absolutely crazy, and I appreciate every single little contribution, every comment, every like. Just wanted to get that out of the way to begin with, so let's jump straight to the video. We were first starting off about Terion Arnold. What kind of struggles has he been dealing with? Well, he's had some, and they haven't really been fixed, right? Last year, he was a rookie, and I was really excited to see what he could do. Lockdown corner out of Alabama. And when he showed up, he just wasn't a high impact player. And to a lot of credit to him, he was a rookie being put in a very high, what's the word, trust role. But we picked him in the first round, so we assumed that we could put him in that position. Didn't work out for a whole bunch of games, but he ended up getting better towards the end of the season. And there was a lot of questions on how good he was going to be coming out this season. So far, it's just been kind of iffy. There was one downside to, if there was going to be one downside to the win against the Ravens on Monday, it would have been some of the coverage from Terion Arnold. The defender gave up a couple of big plays early in the game and was called for a critical pass interference that led to a Ravens touchdown. Through 3 weeks, Arnold has PFF's 77th ranked coverage grade, 44 out of 83 qualifying cornerbacks. 97 won the tickets. Costa and Jansen with Heather radio show on Wednesday. Lions coach Dan Campbell preached confidence and patience with Terion Arnold, but also made a not so subtle hint that they were going to be cutting into his play time. He said he's a young player and he's working at it and he's going to get better. He's going to get better. It's just going to take a little bit of time here. We're going to work through a few of these things, but look, every young player has these ebbs and flows of their career, of their second year, things of that nature. He's going to be all right, man. We just need to keep working through it. My only real concern here with what he's saying, because he's right. You let him develop, sure. Still a younger guy. My only concern here is why are we drafted him to be a shutdown corner. We drafted him so that last year or this year he would be ready to go as a first round pick, and we're just not getting that out of him right now. We're not getting the value that we wanted out of him right now, and it's starting to get a little annoying. I'm going to give him more time. Obviously, I don't think it's like too soon to cut it or too late to cut it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not, we're not getting what we wanted out of a first round draft pick in Terion Arnold. Dan Campbell also says, and look, we're probably going to use Amik Robertson on some stuff too. Amik's a good player, so we're going to mix him in a little bit. The message, and then that message seems pretty clear, that Amik Robertson is the team's starting nickel corner. He's a 6-year veteran, and he's going to be getting some of that play time outside, presumably in favor of Terion Arnold, which I don't hate. I don't know why we didn't do that to begin with. Amik Robertson was really good for us last year. Showed a lot of promise, showed a lot of ability to make plays on the ball, and I wanted to see more of him so far, and we haven't really got to see a ton of him. What that percentage looks like, we're going to have to wait and see. Is it a full-time benching, part-time benching? Are we just splitting reps? What's it going to look like? It's also worth pointing out that the Lions play their base defense quite a bit, which often leaves Robertson off the field. Through 3 games, the veteran cornerback only played 51% of the team's defensive snaps, so they believe that with Robertson's talent, it would also make sense to just get him on the field more in general, but be it at nickel or on the outside. So honestly, if we have to take some time away from Terion Arnold so he can just get a little better, this also would work out in our favor, just kind of having Robertson ready to go. Last year, Robertson filled in late in the season at outside cornerback and looked the part, most notably in the team's regular season game against the Vikings. You guys remember this if you're a Lions fan. He was critical in holding Justin Jefferson to just 3 catches for 54 yards and no touchdowns. He's a shutdown guy, and we should honestly be using him a lot more. I think, honestly, overall, Terion Arnold has great college tape, huge potential, but it just doesn't look like he's developing at the rate we had hoped, right? And when I see him grabbing jerseys on TV during routes, I gasp, I tense up, because I always feel like I'm just going to see that pass interference flag, and it's always on like these 3rd and longs, these 2nd and longs that we're just giving free yards away with stuff like that. So with that, it makes me nervous to see him out there, even when he does make those good plays. Sometimes I'm like, okay, but I need to see that keep happening. On the other hand, our defensive scheme does ask a lot from the outside cornerbacks. So I do feel like he will get better with time. It just might be time to start splitting some reps with guys who we know are kind of proven vets, stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think. Do we give him a lot more time? Do you think he's going to bloom into this player we're all hoping he does? Let me know in the comments right now what you guys think. We are going to move to our second topic, bit of a longer one. The NFL put out a top 5 plays from Monday night based on the impact they had on the game, stuff of that nature. So we're just going to read it, and I'm going to give you guys like my opinion. Should plays have been replaced? Should stuff have been in different spots? I'm really excited to see what they do with this one. Detroit has won its share of primetime games in recent years under Campbell, but this one definitely felt different, right? This one definitely felt different. It felt like a statement from a team with loud, lingering questions. Were the new coordinators good enough? Were we going to be able to get the running game established? Were the young guards ready for the spotlight like that? Could we get it on track? Could we get the pass rush going where from that was missing week one? I think a lot of stuff was answered in this. So let's go off these plays and really show what answers what question. So number 5, they have listed Goff to Laporta for tone setting first down. Now, this one's interesting. This was a huge play in the game. Tied 7-7. The Lions started their drive with a 2-yard line and started their drive in their own 2-yard line late in the first quarter. After two Montgomery runs netted 3 yards, not a whole lot. Detroit stared at a 3rd and 7. Goff dropped into the zone, rifled a bullet to Sam Laporta, who just generated enough separation from Malik Starks to get the catch and get moving. If Goff doesn't convert on that 3rd down pass, Lamar Jackson gets the ball in a really good field position, and the entire game could completely unfold differently if they get a score there. Perhaps there is another play that stands out here. I think this was a huge play, and this led to a very long drive that ended up being a touchdown. So in my opinion, it really let us establish ourselves, get locked in with all parts of the offense, get us warmed up. I think this was a huge play in regards to that, but I'm thinking other plays, maybe Al-Qadim Muhammad's sack, maybe that 4th down goal line stand that they don't have in this list. I think I would honestly have that 4th down goal line stand here instead of this play. I think this play is incredibly important offensively for us and how we got moving, but that 4th down stand was elite. It was elite. I don't know how we didn't let them score there, and then getting the fumble got us away from our own end zone and allowed us the momentum to go in our direction. I still think this was a good one, though. I could see the argument for putting it number 5. I say it's fine being there. Number 4, they have the Derek Barnes shoelace sack that forces a field goal. I do agree with this one. The defensive plan really for this game was to just keep Lamar uncomfortable, keep him shuffling, don't let him be able to dart into free space, keep him moving around in that pocket until it collapses. The plan worked for the most part. If you saw the game, frustrating the Ravens quarterback on Monday night over and over again. The Lions forced Jackson to move and then didn't miss their opportunity to take him to the ground when they could, multiple times, 7 to be exact. Lions defender brought down Jackson by the shoestrings. On this particular sack, the Lions fifth of the 7, Barnes spied Jackson from the boundary zone. Then when the QB made his move to try to get back out to the left, the linebacker dove at just the right moment to get a shoelace tackle on Lamar Jackson, making it a sack as well. If Barnes hadn't made this play, guys, Jackson, who had blockers in front of him, there's a good chance he runs for a touchdown here, or at the least worst, a first down, which sets them up for a perfect position to score a touchdown. Instead, the Ravens honestly had to settle for a field goal here to have any chance of still keeping the score consistent or competitive. And Derek Barnes here just made an absolutely great play. Great. He just about got his shoe. It was a really good focus play. And I would say, yeah, putting that up there, it kept us ahead. It kept us with our momentum shifting in our direction. I would absolutely have this play here. And number 3, Goff hits St. Brown on a key 4th down. Yes. I remember watching this and jumping up and down because it just showed what kind of team we were. The Lions coach is we know we're aggressive, right? We know Dan Campbell's just aggressive as heck, who's always good, doesn't like playing it safe. With a 7-point lead at midfield, the Lions faced a 4th and 2 at the 2-minute warning. The Ravens still had 3 timeouts, so they had a chance to go back and score, maybe even get ahead of us. So even a first down couldn't completely ice this contest. Most coaches wouldn't want to give the 2-time MVP the ball at the position he had with that much time on the clock with timeouts, but there was a 0% chance that Campbell was punting football away. If the play failed, it failed. Detroit would have to move on and try to find another way to victory. Instead, offensive coordinator John Morton, who had been cooking this game, dialed up a perfect pass and Goff dropped a picture perfect lob into Amon-Ra St. Brown for the first down. It was a call that fooled everyone. It fooled me. It fooled everyone on the line. It even caused Jordan Humphrey to grab St. Brown, which made a holding call. Even with the holding call, though, he still had plenty of yards after the first down marker. They didn't even need it. And Campbell is going to go down and forward on fourth down every single time like that, just to show the kind of, I mean, the balls we got. It's insane. Some days it won't pay off. But on Monday, Detroit went 3 for 3 on these, and that's how good coaching can tip the advantage his way in a tight hustle. This play seems like a dagger to me, right? One of those dagger plays, showing that we weren't afraid to just go play it easy here and try to just put ourselves in an okay position, maybe take a risk on a run, whatever. No, we threw the ball on a spot where throwing the ball and not making it would have been bad for us. But we showed that we weren't afraid of them and that we knew we were the better team in that situation. So it was basically let's seal it or lose trying. And I don't know, that to me, it's a dagger play. It gets you hype. It was a fantastic play. Number 2, we have Montgomery's 72-yard run in the fourth quarter. This one was awesome. Wasn't a house call. That one came a little later for him. But David Montgomery's 72-yard sprint flipped the game completely. In a 21-21 affair, Detroit's defense forced a 3-and-out, but the Lions once again were backed up in our own end zone, kind of like we were in the first quarter. However, 3 plays later, David Montgomery decided to just sprint through the Ravens secondary. 4 plays later, the Lions cashed in a 4th-and-1 to take the lead they never relinquish. Montgomery's big run typified the mammoth night that the Lions offensive line had, which were under some criticism for a poor week 1, to be fair. The Lions duo dashed for 218 yards and 4 touchdowns, a huge developmental moment for rookie Tate Ratledge and second-year pro Christian Mahogany. If those 2 guards continue to play like that, we're going to see so much more rushing from this team. Which is already established on running the ball. Super exciting stuff from them. And then finally, number 1, Aiden Hutchinson's forced fumble on Derrick Henry. This one had no explaining. Hutch here getting able to knock this ball out with a textbook perfect punch. Just it stopped Baltimore from being able to retake a lead in a 4-point game. The lone forced turnover was massive. It came from Hutch. It was kind of quiet up to that point, but later was able to sack him in the same quarter, which just honestly made the pressure too much. I don't know. When the Ravens offense began to tire, Hutchinson ate. All 4 of Hutchinson's pressures and his sack came in the fourth quarter when he generated a 30.8% QB pressure rate. He absolutely went insane here, and this fumble caused Derrick Henry to get angry. It just totally sucked the energy out of the entire stadium for Ravens fans, and it was an insane play to watch on your TV. For the most part, I agree on this list. The goal line stop could have been mixed in there, but they absolutely have it down to a T in terms of impact, and I think it was a good list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What plays would you have moved around, and what did they miss that you guys would have up there? With that being said, let's move into our third topic very quickly. Just the Browns depth chart, just going to see what we're up against. I think the offense looks quite underwhelming. They still have Flacco at starter. Defense looks a little scary, but they're going to be out there for 70% of the game. I think they're going to get really tired, and like we saw with that Hutch stat, when they're tired, it's going to get pretty messy for them, and it's going to have to be a good game for the young guards because of Myles Garrett. I think, honestly, Jerry Jeudy, Jamari Thrash, and DeAndre Carter aren't scaring me at wide receiver. Their tackles are fine. Their guards are fine. Their center, Ethan Pokic's fine. And JUCO's obviously good with Joe Flacco. They got a good little thing going, but Joe Flacco doesn't wow me, right? He doesn't really wow me right now. Quinshon Judkins had a good opening to season for him. I feel like he's going to be really good, just needs to develop. But our run defense is so freaking good that I don't think it's going to be a huge issue for us. And then, of course, that other receiver, Cedric Tillman and Isaiah Bond, they're, again, just kind of they're fine. They can get those big booming plays, but I think our secondary is good enough to not let random explosive plays happen. And then, obviously, on defense, Myles Garrett is a problem. Malik Collins is scary. Jerome Baker's good. Denzel Ward, their secondary is good. Their run defense is insane. Their quarterback pressure is good. But I think we just honestly have one of those hard counter offenses where we work in a way that stops defenses like that. And then they don't really have an offense that can beat our defense. I think that's honestly the balance here that's honestly going to set them off. But I don't know. let me know if you guys, this was just a little thing. I just wanted to see where we stood and who we're going to have to go up against. Right now, it kind of looks like based on how they have been. I mean, they beat Green Bay, so I can't count them out, right? The Green Bay beat us. They beat Green Bay. You know, one thing leads to another. But I think now that we've kind of got our ducks in order and we're clicking again and we've wiped up the mistakes, I don't see us really being able to get destroyed by a team like this or even keep it close. But I could always be wrong. Let me know what you guys think and what are your opinions for this roster. What do we need to worry about? We're going to quickly move into viewer comments. We just got a couple here because we are running out of time. Starting with Stephen Williams, 1199 says, I like the way our team played last night. They didn't play scared. Sometimes you can lose the game before you even play because of their reputation. Don't get it wrong. Their rep is real, but we didn't let it get in our heads. We hit them in the mouth and they couldn't respond. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. That was the big worry, and that's what we didn't do in 2023 against them. We came in kind of not scared, but just not playing super hard because it almost seems like an intimidation factor playing against the Ravens in 2023, right? But we came out this time kind of like, no, we're the dogs, we're the big dogs, we're coming into your house to beat you guys. And you could see the confidence in the way we played, the play calling, just the conversions, the tight clutch stuff. We absolutely looked like we played with a lot more confidence, and I agree with your comments, Stephen Williams. And finally, Brent DeWitt says, it was funny when Johnny Morton rolled out the 3 running back set, and you could see the Ravens were yelling at their coaches because they had no idea what to do, LOL. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. We were really excited for that too, having multiple backs in the set and being able to use those strengths with Jahmyr Gibbs' receiving ability, David Montgomery's blocking and hard running ability, and then, just being able to put them in motion, set up screens, RPOs. It gives us a lot of creative freedom, and you can see it's starting to work with defenses, confusing them, not knowing what to do. I'm glad you caught that, Brent, to it, because I've also been really excited seeing what they've been doing with that set. With that being said, we are out of time today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, tell me what you guys think about Terion Arnold and what his spot's going to be on the team, and whether or not you think we need to just keep giving him chances, and if you think he's going to get better at some point. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell so you never miss a video here on this channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.